Shadows whisper when the lights go dim. Cold breath crawling on my skin. Voices echo from the other side. Is it real or just my mind? Things paranormal talks in the dark. Secrets buried leave a burning mark. We interview the dead, we debate the unknown. Chasing shadows where the seeds are sown. Fingers tapping on a Ouija board. Broken silence like a shattered chord. Eerie hums in the dead of night. Is it truth or just a trick of sight?
Wow, it worked. I'm happy. After the disaster last week, it's going fine until now. Welcome everybody back to another Things Paranormal Talks. Tonight we have Dr. Randy Shannon in our midst. Randy, how are you doing?
I am doing so fantastic. I hope I'm not keeping you guys up late. Still
No.
early here. 3 o'clock in Miami, 3 p.m. Eastern. So happy to be with you guys. Seriously, what an honor.
Happy to have you.
It's always one track mind shows. It's always health, which I love talking about health, but it's cool to be on a paranormal show talking about health.
Yeah, well,
Everybody in the paranormal's got to be healthy too.
Exactly, and it's a small line between spiritual and health.
That's right. Absolutely. Body, mind, and spirit. No
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
As always, I would like to ask you, like I do with all other guests, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Who are you? What do you do?
Sure. I have a lot going on. I definitely do not even understand what the word boredom is about because my life is always on the go. I'm an author. I've got a couple books that are out right now doing very well. The children's book, Tongue Tales, and these can be found on Amazon, is a children's bestseller. And it has to do with kind of what I do. And so I'm bringing attention to it. And the second one we just came out with is called The Language of Spices. That's also on Amazon. I have that one. I just got my own copy because it's print on demand. And for whatever reason, it took a while to get to me. So I just finally got it yesterday. And these are amazing books. Those are if you're looking for that one, these are, ever since growing up, I was the girl who, I wasn't necessarily playing all the time. I was reading Little House on the Prairie. I read every book in that whole series, loved it, watched every episode. And I grew up actually wanting to be an author. Of course, life takes like all kinds of crazy paths, but ultimately I made it to author. And so that's one of the main things, but I'm also a naturopathic doctor. And I took my schooling. I got my diploma through the Trinity School of Natural Health. And it's more traditional. So we didn't do surgeries. We didn't do prescriptions. And I didn't want that. It was very strategic in how I chose to get my education. And I really became great at what I love and I still do today, which is face, tongue, and fingernail analysis. So I look at those areas and that tells a whole story. And if you guys remember elementary school, they actually taught us that. They talked about it in the form of trees. They said if you take a tree and you cut it in half and then you look at all those striations and the rings, that's telling the life of the tree, right? So it's the same with us. We just carry our striations and our rings and our this and our that here and in there. And so I found that to be amazing. No multi-million dollar equipment needed. I don't have to go to a doctor and get a stress test to figure out if I've got something going on with my heart. If I have candida, I don't have to take 5 different ways to Sunday tests to find out if I have it. I just look. And it's in the mouth. And it just goes on and on and on. These body parts will tell us every organ and every system. So kidneys, livers, hearts, respiratory, digestive, cardiovascular, every bit of it is told if we just look. Yeah. And this is 5,000-year-old original medicine. So it's been around since the dawn of time. This is the medical system we have today was not what they had then, and they had to figure things out. So they did. And so this is 5,000-year-old original medicine. Today they like to call it alternative. But no, it was actually original.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No
And,
medicines involved.
What does it involve? Well, if let's say you were my client. Oh, what did I answer that, or am I answering that right?
I said so. There are no medicines involved.
No. However, if somebody is already going to a doctor and whatever medicine that they're on, let's say it's a blood pressure or a diabetes or a cholesterol, whatever it is, the goal is always to help them get off of it. So I don't come in the door saying, get off of anything. And by law, I can't.
Mhm.
So by law, their prescribing doctor has to be the one to take them off. So I'm very careful when it comes to that. They're very strict about that here in America.
Yeah.
And I would imagine the world.
I think so. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So when somebody is, high blood pressure, usually the medical doctor will tell them that they have sticky blood. Maybe they're dealing with a face that's very red. Maybe some of the vessels and the capillaries are already, you see the lines like they broke. And what people don't understand is that when it's sticky blood, it's not able to flow the way it should. It's very thick. And so my programs work on getting that to all flow. We have certain things that break that up, anything that might be in the pathway, why those vessels might have broke, or why they got a hemorrhoid, or why they got a varicose vein, or even why they got a stroke. It's all the same reason. It's just when they happen where the hemorrhoids happen, or if it happens on the face, those don't typically kill us, but the strokes can kill a person. And so it's the same response to help them pull out of that. And it's pretty amazing. And so when you take these things, one will kind of go through the bloodstream and just knock out, it chisels away, if you will, the things that are in the path, but it kind of just leaves it there. It just kind of dumps it. And we want to get it moved on. So we follow it up. It's like a 1-2 punch. We follow it up with the one that cleans the blood out. And that helps a person be able to get off the meds. And the thing about the meds is there isn't any prescription. I don't care what anybody is on. If it's a prescription, it is a synthetic, and the body does not like synthetics.
Yeah.
So why not help them? And it's always their choice, but if they choose to go that plan, then they're choosing to work on it naturally so that they can get rid of the synthetics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hormones are, well, let's just say this, fads, FADSs, are huge, it seems like, in these last few years. You got Ozempic, Ozempic face, Ozempic butt. I mean, it's Ozempic everything, right? So people get deformed. They're finding that their bone density, even if you're 20 years old, becomes horrendous. And, can that be reversed? In my opinion, yes, naturally. But is anybody telling anybody that? No. And so when people are suffering from things like that, or when they got on that bandwagon, I've done speeches from stage where you could hear a pin drop. There was so much interest in what I was saying. And then I would get down and go, there's always a booth or something where people can come up and talk to me, line all the way down the street. And people in that line were questioning the fact that I said, I would not jump on this Ozempic bandwagon. And I give the reasons why. And they argue it. Well, I've been doing it for 2 years, 3 years, whatever, to lose weight. Well, when you stop it, you gain that weight back, and you've hurt your bone density.
Yeah.
And God only knows what else you did to the body. There's over $2 billion in lawsuits against them right now.
Wow.
It's growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you actually really deep dive and you look at what happened to those people and, the symptoms and everything, I mean, some of them are basically crippled now. Some of
Yeah.
them, their tongue comes out of their mouth and doesn't go back in.
Oh.
Some of them, their tongue comes out of the mouth and just kind of goes in and out all the time with no self control. Can you imagine? You wanted to lose weight and now you got that.
Yeah.
So,
Horrible.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, no.
but-
If you go look at those stories, it's pretty horrendous. So I'm completely against any fad, any FAD. Um, what's another one? The peptides right now, the injectable peptides. I bet, and you can ask this walking down the street on the sidewalk. If you asked 5 people coming out of any of these spas or whatever, I don't know what they call them in Holland, but where they're injecting these things, did they know that 63, I think it was 63 people died when they got injected with those, and 12 were immediately taken off of the market? I bet most people don't know that.
I don't think so. No.
No.
Yeah. And there's also no long-term studies.
No.
So you are the guinea pig if you jump on these bandwagons. Any of them, I don't care what it is, even the Jabberwockies that were so popular in 21, 22. I was always very against that. Hopefully you guys understood what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah. So, and who ended up being right? At that time, I was a Fox affiliate talk show host, and I'd been doing that for 8 years, live in Albuquerque, and then it would shoot up to the Eastern Seaboard. When I started talking against it, they took that show off the air after 8 years with no warning. We had zero warning. I got a phone call on a Saturday, we're not going live. That's how fast it went. So, I mean, they really did get rid of opposing voices. And I was one of those trying to talk reason into people, slow down, take a break, really think this out, no long-term studies, changing the DNA. You don't want to do anything that's doing that. So none of my clients passed away, not one.
That's good.
Yeah. Some took it, but they were also on nutrients, and it's come out in studies that there was certain things that would kill it when it did get into the body, because they saw it on the slides. And nattokinase was one of those things. Colloidal gold was another one. Bromelain was another. So my clients were already eating fruits and getting the nattokinase and all of those things. So it was like a blip on the radar. I mean, it was nothing for the ones that I had. Now, sometimes their spouses who weren't my client, there was a few occasions where the spouse did pass away after they took it, but they weren't my client, and they weren't doing anything nutrient. That's the way it is sometimes. Yeah, I'm not sure how you guys, feel about it, but in the Bible, it talks about, and I go back to the ancient scriptures. I go before King James, because he changed up so much. But before that, it talked about how there will be 2 in the field, and one will go and one will stay. And it's kind of like how it was in marriages. One would take it and one did not. One would live and one would die. So there was millions and millions of people that passed on that. So just it's common sense. Slow down, take a breath, don't be the guinea pig. And I really feel like on these peptides, it may be that some work out to be amazing, but I'm just not about, because there is no long-term study on those either.
No, exactly. It
And
makes it dangerous.
Exactly. And if you're an evil monster in this world, and that the healthier community will say, the bodybuilders or the people that are taking nutrients, they were the ones that they couldn't get to with the Jabberwocky, and they would be some of the first to put those peptides in because they help your skin, they do this or they do that, but the long-term studies aren't there. So that was a way, in my opinion, if it's evil, if it's bad, to get to the healthier people.
Yeah. They always try.
Yeah, and I'm literally thinking out loud on your show.
No, that's fine.
You can. I always say, acquired patient is a lost customer.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So they find ways. And by the way, on those peptides, some people didn't die right away of the first 63. Some waited like 3 weeks and then they said that they had a heart attack or this or that. And these were healthy people.
Yeah.
So how were they getting heart attacks? All 63. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
so, and now they're talking about making some of them prescription peptides. So I'm like brakes on, and I kind of beg people, you don't need the facelift that bad, okay?
No.
And that's an actual program. We've been doing it on a lesser scale, but we're getting ready to like literally dedicate a whole program to it on a natural facelift. So I have a woman. I wish I could show her to you. I can't right now, but I got to get her permission. But she started with me 4 months ago for various health issues. In the process, you get a natural facelift. She came looking almost like death's door. And yesterday or the day before, she hit her 4th month. And it was, this happens with all my clients, but with this one, it was just like, wow. She got, even in the 4 months, an incredible facelift already. And she's brighter in her face. Her hair is growing out. Like, I don't know why she reacted so amazing to it so quickly. But she did, and it's mind blowing. So she looked like death, and now she looks absolutely like life.
That is very cool.
Yeah. So we do that. We have natural facelift programs. I don't have Botox. I don't have fillers. I'm completely against all that stuff.
Yeah.
And when I was younger and dumber, I did do the Botox a couple of times, but now you couldn't pay me to do it because back then I didn't do research. It was prior to me being a doctor. Now that I've done the research, I found it's out there in plain sight. Botox, every vial of Botox has 5% human blood.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
So-
heard that before, and I was always in doubt. But now
Yeah.
you say it, and I heard a couple of other people say it, and I was like, I
100%.
can't deny it anymore.
Why would I want my neighbor's blood in me?
No, thank you.
no.
Or the homeless person on the street that's shooting up? Does that blood make it past? I don't know. But also, all of the people that took the Jabberwocky, I don't want that in my body
No,
either.
exactly.
So I see Keith Evans from Florida. Hello, not too far from you. we're at least in the same state. That's pretty cool. You guys are in Holland, and you got
Yeah.
somebody down there in Florida. It's interesting if everybody puts up where they are from. That's really cool to see where
But
they're coming in
believe it or not, we are more popular in America than we are in the Netherlands.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And then also, just continue on that first question. I'm a regular guest on Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, which typically is about the paranormal. My talks are always about health, but that's like your show's right up George Norrie, and it's over 600 stations every time we go live. That's a huge reach.
It is.
And
Definitely.
yeah, and I was just in Roswell, and I happened to go live. I had to broadcast while I was down there on Coast to Coast. So I guess it was I'm going to guess it was a month ago. And I said, coming to you live from Roswell. And so everywhere there's, they've commercialized it, and it's very cartoonish with the Martians everywhere and the big, green.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about all that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you been to Roswell? Have you dug into all the deathbed confessions?
Yeah.
That we did, but both of us have not been to America yet.
No.
Okay. Well,
I'm asking my family. I'm turning 60 next year. So I'm expecting a huge birthday gift. I want to go to America.
okay. Very good. Any particular place you do want to go?
mm, all over the place.
Yeah.
So probably I will visit Kentucky and Ohio
Hmm.
and probably New York
Okay. Okay.
because
Y-
we know most people over there. So
Yep, true.
Amazing. Well, I was in Paris many years ago and took the train from Paris with several stops down to, is Marseille on the water?
uh,
Uh,
Do you know?
I have no
it,
clue.
it's at sea. Yeah,
Yeah, there was the coastal city, and is
yeah,
that's the Mediterranean Sea,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So that was potentially, I mean, America is gorgeous. We have so many amazing places, but I got to say, my breath was taken away seeing that scenery from the train going through those mountains.
Yeah.
We had a business partner on in the same train car, and he woke me up and he's like, Randy, look. And I looked out, and it was just absolutely out of this world.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful,
It is.
beautiful, beautiful. And I can say the same driving because I stayed in London for, well, I was in England for a month and we kind of zigzagged up, and it was like right out of Braveheart and headed up into Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, no words. And it was raining, and loved all the rock walls, gorgeous, and the mountains so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, yeah, we don't
yeah.
have it like that
Nope.
really in America, but our mountains are stunning, and Utah, no words, so gorgeous. So, yeah, if you get a chance to see all of those things and get out of New York City, um,
I don't
I would
like
want to be in.
cities. I don't like cities.
Yeah,
So it probably will be abandoned buildings and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's right. So you would be taping. That's really cool.
Yeah.
There's a couple people. There's one out in Vegas. If you tell me, it's the guy did some of the paranormal television. Mike something. Mike
Rick Sacker.
begins with a B, I think. I'll
I,
set you up to talk with him. It's
Oh, that's
Mike.
always good.
I'll tell you right now. I know this isn't good for radio, but
No, it's fine.
Mike. He's not sitting here, but I have him. But he's a paranormal guy. He's been on all those television shows, and he doesn't look in person the way he does on that television show,
That's
which was,
always.
yeah, the paranormal. So
Yep, that's normal.
yeah,
I
we're
did
used
have,
to it.
yeah, I had an experience. Well, it's not me, but it was my oldest son, and so I definitely believe that in a different dimension or spirit world or whatever you call it, you guys have way more knowledge than I do on it, that they do see us, they do know what we're doing, and they also can communicate. And, if somebody's listening to this and is skeptical, this is a true story. My first husband passed away. I had two sons to him. I ended up marrying again later and two sons with him. But my first husband passed away tragically. Okay, without going into the details, it was not good. So everybody was completely shocked. And fast forward, I'm going to say, I'd have to look back on the years, but we'll say fast forward maybe 4 or 5 years. And my sons were driving from one state to several states over, a 16-hour drive, and they did not have much sleep before they took off on that drive. They were in two separate cars. My oldest was in the front in his car by himself, and his brother was in the car behind him. They were kind of just doing the travel together. They were trekking across the country headed to Colorado. So in the second car, my son, he's in that one with a friend, and they see my oldest starting to veer off. They're on the interstate, and the interstate is like I want to say 4 lanes wide. And it has these huge grass dividers from the oncoming, which is also about 4 lanes wide. So it's a huge interstate, goes across the country, truckers, it's like a main thoroughfare. And it was from Pennsylvania to Iowa is where they were. And so as he is veering, my other son is freaking out behind him, and they know what's going on. And it just all happens so fast. He's falling asleep. He's going. And he's asleep at the wheel. And his dad is right there. And they're having this conversation. And my son's like, "Oh, Dad, it's so great to see you." And I get emotional if I continue with that, so I'm not going to. But bottom line, he kept telling his dad it was so great, etc. And it seemed like a long time to him. And his dad says to him, I'm not going to say his name because I don't like to put that out there, but he says to my son, our son, really, he says, "You need to wake up." And my son argues with him in his sleep. And he says, "No, Dad, I don't want to. It's so great to see you, da da da." And he says it again, but this time a little bit louder. Same argument from my son, almost identical. The third time he says it to my son, now he says it abruptly, almost like to snap him out of it. And that one did. And he said it with force. When he said that with force, my son woke up, sees he is literally out of his traffic, already went across all that grass median, and was now heading up into oncoming traffic the wrong direction. He immediately slams on his brake. The car does, I guess that's a 180, and he goes all the way up into the embankment, but still stays just slightly out of that traffic. Cars were slowing down, swerving, slamming on brakes, etc., because they could see this coming. But his father woke him up. So if people think that they don't, what was that?
Exactly.
Right, what was that?
Undeniable proof.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he sat there and he broke down because he saw his father like in the flesh.
Yeah.
In that. And it was like he could touch him. And so, yeah, absolutely real and a totally true story.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I, never really knew for sure, but that, because, growing up, you'd always say to a friend, "Hey, if anything happens to you, write on the mirror, if you're on the other side or whatever." So we know it's real and that you can, nobody ever wrote on a mirror, bottom line. Nobody ever passed either.
No.
That I had that conversation with. So it seems silly, but it was just kids being kids, having weird conversations. But that's, he's never written on a mirror and nothing's ever been moved around a room or anything like that. But he said specifically, "It is not your time. It is not your time." And on the third one, "It's not your time yet," which tells me that he knows when it is, and it's not going to happen until it was actually meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually, believe it or not, gives me comfort as a mom of 4 sons that if they go, it was their time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That's how it's supposed to be then.
yeah. So I don't know if your
Wow.
audience has ever heard that or a story like that, but
Not quite like this. They have heard a lot of stories by now, but not like this.
yeah.
Nope.
But I can
So
understand the emotional part.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I had to stop myself. I started to choke. I can't. Because the actual conversation, it wasn't that deep, but what he saw.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It's deep enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a
So
beautiful thing he got saved by his own dad.
by his own
Abs-
father, by
Yeah,
his own
that's
father,
amazing.
who clearly
Wow.
knows when his time is. And
Yeah, he's not gonna tell.
exactly, he didn't tell him. And I just pray it's not during my lifetime. But if it is, I will have comfort because I'll know.
Yeah, exactly.
I pray for my sons all the time. I pray for all of my clients. Have over 10,000 clients now, and they actually are all over the world. Have some in Holland and Scotland and England, even in Nigeria, where it's impossible to get product to
Wow.
them. They'll find a family member in the States. So I actually work basically out of all 50 states. And we just hit 22 countries about 2 weeks ago because we brought two separate clients on in Uruguay.
Wow.
So, yeah. And they have
Wonderful.
trouble too getting, that's the thing about some of these other countries is how can people think that they're free when a piece of mail that is all about health and nutrition cannot get to them. It gets stopped at the customs, but yet their doctor can give them all the prescriptions in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So
Good question.
it's pretty mind blowing. So just in the last month, we've had trouble with Argentina and Uruguay.
Yeah.
So
Those are nasty countries if it comes to that.
yeah,
Question:
yeah,
how does that work? I mean, you have to look at hands, tongue,
yes.
eyes, but that's pretty hard if you have a meshed up camera like this.
Yeah. So what people do is they take their phone or somebody will take their phone and put the hands out and get close up pictures of the fingernails.
Yeah.
It's not like 10 different photos. They'll just do like of the four fingers and then the thumbs typically are separate. And of the tongue, it's the top and the bottom of the tongue. And then the face, it's in a resting position as well as an angry face. The reason that I do it two different ways on the face is because so many people do have Botox and fillers. But if you make an angry face, so I just blanketed across the board now. If you make an angry face, you still can't bypass those. It'll still show.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And so if they're a diabetic, there's other body parts that I want them to take pictures of. If they have anything abnormal on the body that wasn't there before, even if it's 20 years old, but it wasn't there the 20 years previous, I want a picture of that because everything means something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ailment of some sort. And whatever we see on the outside of the body, let's say it's moles that weren't there before. Sometimes you see pictures of people that, especially in the elderly, but it is not an elderly thing, where all of a sudden they start having these brown moles starting to grow all over the body. And
Yeah.
then there's more and more and more. What we see on the outside of the body, take that times millions on the inside of the body and even on the brain.
Mm.
So, and so basically my programs are 4, 6, and 12 month programs, depending on what's going on with them. And they can easily get scheduled. I have a toll-free line that is 844-275-1056. That's toll-free. So if you're in Holland, it probably doesn't work. So just go to the website and contact us there, which is thebodycan.com, which we're revamping that one actually right now. And there's also randyshannon.com, RANDI Shannon.com. So they can just even schedule there. But if they want to talk to somebody, we'll call them. We'll use like WhatsApp or something and call them and do a consult, do an analysis. I don't care what it is. I'm that one holistic that in America will hold their hand all the way till they don't want it held anymore for anything. Especially I take on the scary things for them, the progressive, you're never going to get any better type of things. I love those things, plus all the minor stuff, everything in between. And we get amazing results. For example, we had a lady in Australia. Her daughter came to me and said, I think I got a message, I think is how she contacted me first. And it said, can you please help my mom, MUM? And I said, okay, what's going on? So we had a conversation and she was full scale kidney failure on hospice, in the bed at home and doing dialysis. Her whole love of life, which I love this, was that she loved taking care of her husband. She loved cooking for him and taking care of the home. And she couldn't do any of that anymore. She was now in the bed. They told her she's going to die. There's nothing else that they could do. I said, well, okay, that's pretty far, but let's see what we can do. Within 1 year, that woman completely, well, I'm going way forward. Within 3 weeks, she went from 3% function to somewhere around 15%. She has a public testimony out there. She put it online. So I think this a few years ago, but 3 to like 15%. She was already back in the kitchen doing the things she loved. She was already up and out of the hospice bed. 1 year later, her and her husband sold the house and moved to New Zealand with their life.
Wow.
So, right, that's a deathbed story. We have plenty of those. My father had kidney cancer, and they were going to take 50 to 100% of his right kidney. I saw the cancer on the screens. I went to his doctor visit. I met with his oncologist and the laparoscopic surgeon and all this. My dad is a real sugaraholic. He used to work for Hershey Foods. I think everybody knows the company Hershey. So chocolate galore, candy galore, licorice galore. He was a sugaraholic. That is not good for us. And sodas, you name it. So it's not a surprise that that grew in him. He wasn't taking any nutrients. He didn't have a clean, lifestyle in that sense. And so I asked him, Dad, do you want to keep your kidney? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, then you have to listen to every single thing I tell you. Now, I don't say that to my clients. It's up to them. But my father, I kind of manhandled. And so he did. And my mom helped to make sure he got everything. So 30 days later, nobody took another look, but they did go ahead with the surgery because they scheduled it. I mean, they said, you have it. We're going in 30 days later. Okay, I can't stop that. So they go in. At the end, they give the whole family the update, but then the doctor turns to me and he says, there was something different about your father's surgery. And I said, what was it? And he said, normally when we take a diseased organ out, it's exploded outward, almost like, like a horrible raging acne, except the skin just literally is like, and he said, your father's was in perfect condition. And yeah, and that was in 30 days. And so then he said, but there was one other thing. He said, we were going to take 50 to 100% of your father's right kidney. I said, yes. And he said, we only needed 10%. So we took 12. So in that 30-day time frame,
Wow.
the methods we used, which I still use today, but everybody's a little bit different, okay, which route we go, that reversed him so far back that I believe if they had waited 60 days to do that surgery, he never would have needed it. I don't think they would have done it had they taken a look at that 30-day. But here's the deal. I believe in God, and I believe that he had to go through that so that I could be that eyewitness to tell that story to the rest of the world, because he gave that doctor a bird's eye view. My dad is still alive today. That was back in 2015. He's back to his old ways. I love him, but he went back to, I visit him and he's eating a whole bag of taffy sitting next to me, drinking soda. They've told him to stop. He gets in their clutches and they get him on prescriptions, and I don't live there. So I can't control what I can't control. No. But we got him. Not only did we save the kidney, but he's still alive today. He's like 78 years old now, 79. So those are real examples, and I could go on and on. We had a kid, I want to say she was about 11, told she was a type 1, but yet she wasn't born a type 1. The family said, we're very afraid of this. She just got this diagnosis. Can you help? And I said, it's a kid, number one. So we have to be very careful. You have to stick with your program, but aggressively monitor. And I firmly believe that most type 1s are misdiagnosed. And I'm talking diabetes for those that don't know what I'm talking about. But if you don't crash at some point after birth, you've probably been misdiagnosed if it came in at 11 or 50. Doesn't matter. That's my opinion. And it's based on my experience. And my experience is that kid during the day completely fine. The parents never took her off the insulin bumps at night because they were afraid while she was sleeping. But all day long, she was off that med. She was off the insulin. So um, then, because they weren't, it's different. I don't know how it is over there, but in the States, because they chose to reduce her because she didn't need it, because the natural methods were working for her.
Yeah.
The school nurse turned them in to the doctor that she wasn't given the insulin anymore. So that brought the whole, long arm of the law down on that family, because they force things, especially if it's a minor. So she unfortunately went back to the insulin because the school nurse was now making sure of it, even though her numbers were fine. And they had that documented by their doctor that the numbers were fine.
But isn't
And
it
they,
by law that if the numbers are fine, you're not supposed to give somebody insulin because that's going to be
right?
dangerous?
Yeah, very
You
dangerous.
could kill
Yep,
someone with that.
exactly. And she had one of those monitors on the arm, so they knew the reads, like literally every second they knew the reads. So that right there tells you misdiagnosis and can be reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she needed nothing. She was taking nutrients. So, again, I have to always tread lightly there. And, we changed the diet on people. I'll tell the audience right now. So they're going to want to go hear the replay on this. No wheat, barley, rye, oatmeal, or buckwheat. They destroy the gut, which makes it so you don't absorb anything good. No fried foods, no foods cooked in any oils. They're all oxidized. They're all oxidized. They're all oxidized. That is why we can't take them. It's not what all the influencers out there are saying. They don't understand it. They're oxidized. They're rotten and rancid, and they are causing oxidative stress and free radical damage. That is not good. That hurts our heart. That hurts our brain. It hurts the blood flow. It's main reason why people get sticky blood. That and lack of nutrient malabsorption, things like that. They can get the full list if they just go to thebodycan.com, thebodycan.com. They put in their email there. It will email over to you the whole entire list with descriptions of things. Some people will question some of the things I have on the list, but here's the deal with that. If it made it to the bad side of the list, even if you get a few good things out of it, you're getting more bad than it's worth, and you will be shortening your life. And the word right in Genesis tells us that we are supposed to be living to at least 120 years of age. And if
Yeah.
you look at the lives, Methuselah was like, I don't know, I don't have it up in front of me, but I want to say 900 and some years. And it's just progressively gotten shorter. Yeah. So we still today are supposed to be 120. So when everybody's dying in their 60s and 70s, that is ridiculous.
It's way too young.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It was .com, right?
Yes, thebodycan.com. And it's going to try and spell check you. Wish I would have seen that when I was putting that site together. But it's the body can. There you go. It's in I see somebody had a comment. Can you guys read that?
Yeah, sure. I had kidney failure in January 2017, and two doctors said that I was going to die. I disagreed with their that. A lady that I didn't know walked right by and told me that I would make a full recovery. The RN said that no one walked past her and
Ah,
Love
that I
that.
had no visitors. I made a full recovery. That was
Amazing.
Keith.
Amazing.
That is very good.
Yeah, that's awesome. You definitely have somebody's hand over you. I think there's only one. So God bless you, sir. I don't know if we've met. I know a few Keiths in Florida. So one that always cracked me up, because I just had this visual of him, and I don't know if it's this Keith that's listening, but he would not drive, and I totally believe in what he was doing, by the way, with a license plate, because we're supposed to be free to travel. It's a birth thing to be able to travel freely, right? So there are people that will put not traveling in commerce on their cars. This was one of them. I don't know if it's him, but he would drive with that and he would get pulled over all the time. And he did, they did write him up a few times, but he just went to court very calm, cool, collected. And I forget what car he was driving, but it reminded me of like those old boats from the 70s, which I still love. I wish I could have right now, like a Plymouth something. Those, I don't know if you guys had those back then in your
Not
country,
that
but
big.
what was that?
Not that big of cars.
Yeah, I mean, they were the size of my living room. They were so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a car today would run into those, like from the 70s, the car today would get obliterated, and that would be untouched.
Yeah.
They were just like heavy metal driving. So too funny. So yeah, so if anybody knows somebody who's suffering, we all pretty much do know people
Yeah.
that are suffering, send them over because we take great care of them. And in particular, when we're looking at these body parts, we'll look for color changes in fingernails. We look at where the color changes are. It means different things, different people, based on, I might see something that'll throw me a sign of a liver problem.
Mhm.
So then I'm looking at the tongue and the face to see if I see it there also. Otherwise, it could be X, Y, or Z. Okay. So I triangulate the problem, the issue that they're suffering from, or the organs or the systems that are out of whack based on this triangulation. So it's why it's so amazing. And a lot of people, if you go to, say, an acupuncturist, they'll say, in some occasions, stick out your tongue, they'll look, and then they'll just tell the person that there's heat. There's heat here, heat there. That really doesn't mean anything to anybody, and they don't have a clue what to do about that.
No.
Yeah. And so I never come at people from those terms. I don't like it.
No.
Because I've been to acupuncturists and they told it to me, and I'm like, what does that mean? I got heat here. What do I do? Like, and then I worked for an acupuncturist, doctor of acupuncture for quite a while. And it was amazing because he had a huge thriving practice, and everybody would come in and stick out their tongue for me. And so I would check all their tongues. And the thing was, he was so busy and he made money hand over fist. And after I'd been there quite some time, I said, we could do so much more for these clients because they get better for a week and then they come back next week, same pain, same problem, Groundhog Day. And I said, out of respect for you, because it's your practice, and that was the right thing to do. I was a guest there, apprenticing with him. I said, I don't say anything to the clients. And his response was, thank you for your silence.
Okay.
I knew I could not stay because my whole mission, my goal has been to help these people get healthy and get rid of the problem. Who wants the problem hanging around?
Yeah. That's like Mary said, a better patient or a cured patient is not money anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, he would have had to do a little more advertising. I'm always advertising. Not, I do shows, I do podcasts, I have my books, I'm on coast to coast. So I'm always talking about what I do because people do get better and they move on. And that's exactly how I want it. I don't think I could live with myself the other way, like how he did. And I couldn't. And I know because I actually gave him my notice very shortly after that I would be leaving.
Yeah.
And he begged me, literally begged me to stay. He said, you should get into acupuncture. You have a way better bedside manner than the interns that have been here long before you. And I said, I just really, I need to move on. And after that, I started thebodycan.com. And my focus is to get to the root cause and help the whole body heal. And, people, they have to understand, if you come to me with, say, a liver problem, yeah, I'm going to focus on your liver problem. However, I'm going to look at those other body parts to figure out, okay, why did the liver get into that trouble? And what else did it drag down the drain with it?
Makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
it
You know,
does.
we all drive cars. If, you know, you got the dashboard full of lights, and let's say, you know, you got a tire that's leaking and you have the oil light on, and maybe something electrical isn't working because of a spark plug. If I fix that leaky tire, did that fix everything else? No. So those are red light warning signals, and we get them too. And they show in the face, the fingernails, and the tongue. And that's why people love this. The very first show that I ever did on this, we had over I stopped counting at 4,400 calls. I stopped
Wow.
counting.
Wow.
I could come up for air for like 4 months till I caught up with that. And that was
Wow.
working really, really long days. And I had to bring in a team. I think I had 4 or 6 people that were working with me to help get through all of those phone calls and help
Man,
people.
that's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. And they were from all over the world. They were from all
Wow.
over the world. It was pretty amazing. And I loved it, and they loved it, and I've
Yeah.
just never stopped since. My brand was born in that moment. So
That's amazing.
yeah, it's
You get me interested in as well, because
yeah,
I myself I have some heart problems lately, and
okay.
I don't know where it comes from, but it's while I'm training, because I do fitness 2 times a week. I'm trying to do 3 times a week, but
There's
sometimes
there's
my heart rate goes like almost gone, and then the other time it goes way up.
okay, like fluttering, like
Yeah,
pounding, pace, racing.
it's like it's out of my body that
Oh,
fast.
that's not good. Okay,
No,
so there's a saying, and we're going to probably do something on it because I've been talking about it for years. Um, the cardiology doctor, I'll give you a couple stories here. The cardiology doctor for the LA Lakers. He's the cardiologist doctor for the LA Lakers. Pretty prestigious, wouldn't you say?
pretty.
So, um, he was in his 40s, and he is their team heart doctor. He travels to all the games. They have all these specialists on the sidelines. And he died at 45 or 6 of a heart attack. So, if he knew anything about the heart, why is he dead?
Yeah,
Okay. And so basically, dead athletes, they don't lie. And what I mean by that is they're doing all these things wrong, and they're not putting the right things in their body. They do a lot right. But we always hear about that guy dribbling the basketball down the court, and he was only 20 and he died of a heart attack
yeah,
because he was missing certain nutrients. Okay, let's say we give him the nutrients, but he's eating wheat, barley, rye, oatmeal, or buckwheat, so he's not going to absorb those nutrients. He's still a dead man walking anyway. So he has to, it's not just, hey, get some nutrients, it's a whole process. So that's why my clients love it, because we're changing the whole shebang so that they get better. And so in your particular case, when you're telling me that the heart is pounding almost out of the body, now you could have a heart thing, okay? I'll say that. I would have to look to know.
yeah. It runs in the family, so it could be.
Okay. Now you gave me something else to talk about. So it's not hereditary like you think, because if it was, if dad, grandpa, etc., all had heart issues and it was hereditary, you would have, the doctors would have known that upon your birth,
Agreed.
okay?
Yeah.
And in those younger years, they would have seen that. They didn't see that. It's not hereditary. If a child is born with something,
They will see it
then
immediately.
that means the mother, it's kind of a wrong term to use, but the mother was broken. The mother wasn't getting what she needed.
Yeah,
And I think prenatals are woefully underdosed. I
yeah,
think they're terrible. We need that, but more. And any pregnant woman who comes to me, again, it's always left up to them, but I always suggest way more. So when the heart is So I don't think it was hereditary at all. And that goes for diabetics. If grandma, grandpa, were diabetics, it is not hereditary. It's a diabetic, a type 1 especially, a type 1 is formed in the first trimester of mom being pregnant. And if she doesn't get the right nutrients in that first trimester, that baby has a chance at being born a type 1. Nutrients are important.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not hereditary. Even if there's 5 generations, that just means they were all woefully undernourished, malnourished, not getting what they needed. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So now back to the heart pounding and racing. I would look at, okay, so let's go back. Medical doctors are going to say that you probably need about in America, it'd be a $500,000 procedure. Okay. An ablation. They're going to burn muscles in the heart. These muscles, I look at, there's that dashboard on the car, and there's a wire saying oil, and there's a wire saying flat tire, and there's a wire saying spark plug. They're burning those wires.
Yeah.
Those are the wires that warn us. Those are the red light warning signals. They're burning those. I don't like that. I'm
No, me
completely
neither.
against that. So when the heart's pounding like that, I want you to think, what was I doing at that time? Was I golfing? Was
Actually, lat pull downs.
Okay, so moving in a different position. More likely, okay, and I'm not looking at you, so I can't say, but more likely, and what would trigger in my mind, which I would look at that for you, is I'm going to think that it's more degenerative disc disease. And you're like, what? That's nuts. But it's a form of osteoporosis. And we have tons of nerve bundles. We call it, there's like a nerve matrix. And when we ask of our body all of our life and we don't give back, or things aren't absorbing if we are giving back, then those nerve bundles become raw. And so when you're like this, you're in a different position and those bundles get pinched. You always hear about golfers passing out on the golf course.
Yeah.
It's because they're pinching them.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they think they're having a heart attack because the heart is racing. But the thing is that's just a byproduct, if you will, of those nerves being pinched.
Yeah. Yeah. The only
That's
thing
it.
I think is breathe.
Yeah. Breathe.
Deep in, deep out. That's it. And it works.
It's nutrients that are missing. And so what we do is we re-nutrify and we help the body to coat again, because it will coat those wires and make them not raw. And once we do that, it takes a few months, 6 months, 8 months. Once that's done, that problem is solved and gone.
That's cool.
And you avoided $500,000, at least in America, $500,000 surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want them to burn any muscle. Go away.
No.
Yeah, but you do have to take care of it, because it'll just get worse and worse. You have to recoat those. You have to recoat those. And it's not like I drink something or I take a pill and it's recoated right now. It takes time for that to regrow.
Yeah, it's time and effort.
Yeah. We have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and that's one of your cranial nerves getting pinched. It's one in particular. So there's different ones for tinnitus, vertigo, Meniere's disease, there's an eye issue that it can be. It just depends on which one of the nerves is getting pinched. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's actually really simple. But it is a lengthy process, but you can totally avoid all kinds of prescriptions and surgeries and, burnings and pacemakers and all these different things that I don't think people, probably most of those were misdiagnosis. Is there probably some blockage? Yeah, probably. But that's cleanable too. Naturally.
It is, definitely.
Yeah. So my programs cover all of that.
Interesting. Very.
Definitely interesting. I think you have to come back again, because we said an
That
hour.
sounds
And
great.
we're at an hour.
That sounds great. That sounds great. I mean,
Definitely
everybody
come back.
Yeah, everybody should get scheduled. I will throw something out. I don't know how many listeners you guys have, but for the first, we'll say 100 listeners. They got to get a hold, if they're in America or wherever, they can call my toll-free line. Or if they go to the site and fill out the contact form, I heard you on this show and mention the show, then I will give a 10-minute consult for free. Normally that's $250. I do give a little more time in the paid one, but I'll give a 10-minute for free, and we'll figure out, do you need to actually schedule an analysis, or do you just need a couple of things? We have an amazing parasite cleanse that kills like 10 different kinds of parasites. The other ones on the market don't. We have a detox, if you're familiar with chemtrails, that helps to pull. It's 77 very specific herbs and minerals that pull all those heavy metals out, as opposed to a bottle of something that maybe has 5 ingredients. We have 77, and it tastes great, by the way. I mean, I could go on and on. We have so many great things, and we didn't cut corners. I worked with that doctor that retired at age 85. They bought the mineral mines 50 years ago. And so we're pulling it all out of the mineral mines.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
All
So it's
right.
all clean. It's not a big giant company that's going to use Chinese. That's my point.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The first 100, right?
The first 100. So I'm going to write that down. 100 people, a 10-minute consult. It might take me, if 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks goes by, don't get mad. I am going to call you back as long as you're real clear on your phone number and your email. Phone numbers are preferred along with the email. So I like all the information you can give me. So it makes it easier. And if you're not on WhatsApp and you're out of the country, please get on WhatsApp so that we can actually communicate.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And then also, please, everyone, buy my books. This one makes a great gift. It's for kids, baby showers, you name it, tongue tales. It is a bestseller. And it's cute. It's simple. And it's about, I show the little kids the tongues of all the animals. Every animal has its tongue sticking out in this book. To
amazing.
bring attention to, hey, let's go look at the tongue. And at the end, I tell them to go look at your own tongue in the mirror, so that they're already starting to be aware of it. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
these were all medicines long before spices. So, or before flavors. So in the book, I actually talk about different ailments like gas and bloating, cramps, colic, spasms, coughing, and antioxidants, antibacterial things to be, in the spices in the book. So I even address pets, because pets can't have everything we can have. It'll kill them.
Nope. Exactly.
So I address all of that in there as well. So it's fantastic. You'll never look at spices the same. It really, it is a daily in my diet. So that book is a working manual. Definitely get it. Then get all the spices and then learn what each ailment needs.
Exactly.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Exactly.
And those are both on Amazon.
I'm going to put the link in the Spotify, in the YouTube, everywhere.
Outstanding.
So they will only have to click the link and they will be at your books. Again, the first 100. Note our podcast, Things Paranormal Talks.
Yes.
Every thing Randy needs to know of you. So all information, including your phone number.
Yes.
And then you have the first 10 minutes free.
Yeah.
So you got to do that, because that's a lifetime deal. You should do that.
And we'll try to get a lot done in that 10 minutes. I really, press people to give me what you got so that we can figure this out.
Yeah.
And if you're in another country, please give me the country code. I'm not great at those, so I need that too.
That might be a good idea then.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea. With that being said, Randy, please come back again, because we are not done talking yet.
Awesome. Thank you. I definitely will. I'm very excited. With these other programs we have coming out, people are going to want to hear about them. So it's fun.
Could you send me a reminder when you come on Coast to Coast so I can listen?
Yes, I think it was, what did I say? Was it
October?
October?
7th of October, 7th? Right?
Yeah.
Yep, October 7th. If you're West Coast Pacific time, it's really going to be on the 6th. But for East Coasters, it's 1 to 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. 1 to 3 a.m.
So
very late.
7
in the morning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm awake then. I have two
Okay,
kids.
good.
I'm awake.
Good. Well, I typically crash right after that and try to catch up because it's usually a very busy day.
Yeah,
So
I can
Yeah,
understand that. Yeah,
absolutely.
that's a nasty time. Not a good time.
yeah, it's pretty awful.
All
Thank
right, no,
you so much
Randy,
for
thank you
having me.
so much for coming on. It was a
Yeah,
Yes,
blast.
absolutely,
I loved
absolutely.
it. I just try to bring value everywhere I go, and we need people. It's don't listen to we're overpopulated. I fly over America, and half of it doesn't have people. So
No,
Exactly.
exactly.
we need people. We need you to be healthy, and I am like very traditional. We need our men to be healthy
Yep.
so that women. I know there's some strong women in this audience, but I'm strong too. But I still believe in the men. They are our protectors. We need them. The family needs them. They are like we need them healthy. So bring your husbands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good idea. Good idea.
absolutely.
All
Outstanding.
right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we will be back next Saturday. Do you want to spill the beans already?
Yeah, let's do it. It's September 5th,
Yeah, that's
and
Saturday. Right?
not this Saturday, but next week.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah. It's Wednesday.
yeah, exactly. For those who didn't see it on our like page or on YouTube, we have Michelle Bellinger.
Yeah.
Bellinger.
Ballinger. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we end in the back and we end with a little bit of music, and then we go out. All
God
right.
bless you all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Fingers tapping on the veil too loud. Voices from the cracks in the floor. Shadows bending where light won't go. Chasing truth in a haunted show. Are they real or something? Psychic dreams or a skeptic's grin. Ghosts of questions circling within. Answers vanish before they land. Investigators with their tools in hand, talking to the dark like it understands. Spirits rising from the sand. Things paranormal talks. Behind closed doors it walks. Do you hear it? Or just the clock?